All right, ladies and gentlemen, Alan Uncharted, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little different. We're getting into the rainy season, we're getting into fall. Definitely for me, my thoughts turn towards mushrooms, more specifically, the golden chanterelle. So in this video, I'm gonna take you guys along. If you're a beginner, if you are intermediate or even advanced, I'm gonna show you guys my 5 top methods for increasing your mushroom harvest. All right guys, enough talking, let's get in the forest.
The forest we're in right now it's absolutely beautiful. There are chanterelles everywhere.
When you find a mushroom, put down your bag and look around because there's always more. I just see one here on the ground. I start looking around. I can see at least 3, 4, 5, 6 things right in this immediate vicinity. A lot of times these mushrooms are hiding in plain sight. This one is a good example. Just a tiny bit underneath the moss. If you know what to look for, you'll find them. All right, I found a couple of really nice ones. Make sure you clearly remove the overburden, because if you don't, you're gonna end up ripping your nice mushrooms in half. Not a big deal if you just want to eat them at home, but if you're looking to sell them, the buyers typically like a much nicer, full mushroom, so to speak. So this is very typical of what you'd see with a chanterelle nearing the end of its life cycle. Chanterelle roughly translates in Latin to cup or vase. So you'll see here, this is starting to take that vase shape. They start collecting water and the molding process really just kicks in pretty quick. So this one's no good. I'm gonna leave it back here in the forest. I don't like to take the super small ones. My rule is usually an inch across the top. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I gotta watch where I step, they're everywhere. Let's have a look, you guys. Let me take my gear off here. All right, I found a giant. Let's do a little bit of excavating here. Really fat in the bag. It's the biggest one of the season so far. These things can get pretty big. I mean, I've seen them well over the size of my head. All right, guys, welcome to day 2. I'm out towards. I was here a few weeks ago, stopped to take a piss on the side of the road, and I found this wicked awesome mushroom spot. I don't think it's ever been touched. It's super remote. Absolutely beautiful mushroom grounds. I mean, I can see them everywhere. So we're gonna have one hell of a day today. I mean, they're basically as far as the eye can see. This is crazy. I don't even know where to begin. Both sides of the road here look absolutely amazing. Like, they're literally everywhere I look. This might be my new mushroom spot for the rest of my life. This is really, really good here. I've been here picking for about 5 minutes. I can still see my Jeep. I'm not even 100 feet away from it. And I have this entire forest here to explore.
Method number 2, get remote. The further you're away from the general public, the more mushrooms you will find. Sure, it's possible to find mushrooms at your local park or trail, but if you want that big score, you're gonna have to get out there.
Another important thing, when you find a bunch of mushrooms, leave some. I mean, don't pick the whole place dry. A lot of wildlife actually rely on the mushrooms. The deer, bears, I think, slugs, squirrels, all sorts of creatures. This guy here is one of the mushrooms that are typically confused with the chanterelle. The name of it is right there. I can't remember. But I mean, you can see by looking at the bottom the difference. It sort of looks the same, but I mean, it has a different color. So watch out for these guys. They definitely grow in the same area as the chanterelles. This is actually probably the biggest one I've ever found in my life. I've been here for about an hour. I have a lot of mushrooms. So I basically picked the entire quadrant, so basically only a quarter of this area, which I think is productive. I'm gonna head to the right now, down the hill, see what we can find. Holy. I hit the jackpot here. I found totally different mushroom. First one I've seen all day. This is excellent specimens. came across a patch of hedgehog mushrooms. These are also edible and very good. This day just keeps getting better and better. Look at the size of this one. That's the biggest hedgehog I've ever found in my life. Some pretty good sized buck tracks there. Now we're down in the swamp. This is not where we want to be. So this to me is unusual. I'm actually in a rock bed. There's mushrooms everywhere. This is not normal from my experience. I can see like 100 mushrooms in this area where I'm at right now. All right, it's one of those pack, drop, and stop kind of don't break your ankle and die kind of places. There's a lot of mushrooms here. There is a lot. So here's an example about leaving some mushrooms for the wildlife. This is one of the best mushroom patches I've ever found in my life. This is absolutely wild. I'll give you guys a time lapse. I've already been at it for half an hour. Had to head back to the vehicle to unload. Doing pretty good so far. Have a look, you guys. These are all hedgehogs. All these are chanterelles. So I checked the other side of the road. There wasn't very much. I got maybe 5 or 6 mushrooms. I got back in the Jeep, drove down the road maybe 150 feet. Got out in a spot here, and there's more mushrooms here than anywhere I've been today. I mean, it's insane. I'm sitting here, I can look around, I can see them everywhere. This is really, really good year this year. What a great day. This is what it's all about, just being out here in the wilderness. I don't always come by myself, but a lot of the times I don't have anyone to go with because all my friends are married, or they're at work, or they're doing this, they're doing that. For me, this is where I find my solace. This is where I find my stress relief. This forest out here towards the west coast is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, this place is absolutely untouched. Typically when you go to spots that have been harvested, you'll see the bottom of the stipes on the ground. You'll see signs of people. It's a giant tower of mushrooms. All right, so my quandary now is, do I stay while the getting is good? I think I'm gonna go back for one more push. I'm gonna bring 2 bags this time. I'm just a little worried about getting mushroom drunk. That's a term that I use to describe when you find so many mushrooms, you just head down into the bush, everywhere, mushroom. Before you know it, you don't know where you are. So that concerns me a little bit, especially as I'm by myself. The GPS is not working so good out here. I need to make sure I don't get lost. I'm getting tired. I need to make sure I don't injure myself. There's no one out here to save me, so I have to be extra careful. We're on the side of a pretty steep hill. I think I just found the best spot of the day. There are mushrooms everywhere. Look at this guy. Absolutely beautiful. That is a very, very nice mushroom. It was one hell of a day. I'm beat. I have a lot of mushrooms that I need to get home and start dealing with. So in regards to increasing your chanterelle harvest, I can't think of a better tip than to fully extract the entire mushroom. I'm going to show you what I like to do. And this could actually potentially increase your yield by 15 to 20% during the course of a day. It's super important. It's #1 in my books. Let's have a look. So typically what a lot of people will do, they'll take their knife, go up just above the duff level and slice the mushroom. Let's compare that to the way that I do it.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys a bit about actually harvesting the mushroom. There's a lot of common misconceptions that plucking a mushroom, pulling it from the ground, will actually damage the system of the mushrooms, which is totally not true. Chanterelles are a mycorrhizal organism, which means that they live in conjunction with the trees, specifically Douglas fir and hemlock. The mushroom is like a fruiting flower. It's almost like picking a berry off a bush. So if I go ahead and I just pluck this mushroom, this is going to do absolutely no harm to the system here, the roots, the mycorrhizal roots of the mushroom. A lot of guys will trim off the bottom just to keep dirt out of your bag. That's a good idea. Know the forest that you're in. When you're looking for chanterelles, they typically grow in coniferous forests, trees that bear pine cones. You want to look for western hemlock and Douglas fir. Another important thing to keep in mind is indicator plants. There's a number of species that grow in conjunction or harmony with the chanterelle mushrooms. So what we're really looking for on the ground, aside from the trees, is salal, ferns, sword fern, and blue huckleberry. When you find those types of plants, chances are there'll be mushrooms there, as well as moss. Moss is a key indicator of chanterelle habitat. Moss does not like sunlight, neither do chanterelles, so they live together and they're happy. Here we have a prime example. If we look at the forest floor, it's very mossy. We have some salal right here. We have huckleberry here. We have fern in the back. And look, there's mushrooms everywhere. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 15 mushrooms right here in this one spot.
I actually find this is also quite important. When you're out picking, it's really easy to just kind of get sidetracked and randomly, oh look, there's a mushroom, and you go pick it. If you're really out here to gather a lot of mushrooms during the course of a day, you want to spend your time wisely. And what I find with that really helps is you can kind of create a grid line. Think of an archaeologist surveying a tomb, or not a tomb, but maybe a place in the desert. You know, they have the rope with all the squares. Try to find natural terrain, like maybe a river or a road or a clear cut, and just break it down into areas and just do the search pattern. Think of those ROVs that go underwater that look for shipwrecks. That's really what you want to do. And if you can do that, you're going to be much more productive. I know it's super easy to go, hey, oh my God, there's a mushroom. Oh, there's a mushroom. And you go down the hill for one mushroom when you could be walking that same mushroom on the grid back. So if you're really into it for productivity, make sure you're using your time wisely. It's super important. When you're out here, just make sure to enjoy yourself. I mean, this is time well spent out in the forest. It gives you time to collect your thoughts. It's an excellent activity for parents and children. Not like little baby children, like infants and whatnot. Chanterelles actually contain a natural enzyme. I'm not sure exactly what the name is off the top of my head. I will put it right there. What it actually does is it wards off insects. So as far as mushrooms go, chanterelles are unique in that bugs don't really eat them. I mean, they do. Don't get me wrong, they do sometimes. I've actually been using these large stumps as sort of a navigational aid. I kind of count them on my way down. I'm always keeping track of where I'm going. I'm always looking over my shoulder, making sure I have a visual reference as to which way I came from. It's really easy to get your head down, start picking mushrooms, and get turned around. And that's when the trouble starts. Elevation is definitely your friend. I just climbed to that stump you just saw me on. I look down the hill, and I can just looking for that pop of gold color, orangey gold. I found a huge patch down here, all because I stood on that tree and just surveilled my surroundings. I mean, they're literally all over this hillside. Put in the work, you will find them. And this kind of quantity here is what's going to fill your baskets super quick. These are some absolutely prime mushrooms. I mean, look at that. That's what you want. I'm going to have to come back here again. I'm not going to be able to get them all today. There's no way. I need a friend, I need a helper. If anyone's interested in mushroom picking, hit me up. Doubled the mushroom count in under an hour. There's lots more in there. I'm gonna have to come back, but I need some help. At this point in the day, I think it's just too late to go back in there, especially being by myself.
It's funny how the world works. That same evening when I got home, I received a message from an old friend. He said, hey, let's go pick some chanterelles. What happens next is truly amazing. The coming day would be one I would not soon forget.
All right, so here we are, day 4. I've got some help today. We've cleared out that spot I was initially in for the last 3 days. We're into new grounds here. Wow, it's the promised land. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I've become obsessed with the search for wild mushrooms. Once again, we had another pretty good day today. It was only really a quarter day. We got 2 buckets full and they're super high quality. Perfect day. All right, so here we are at the bar. We just had our best day. I didn't do any filming. We probably about 150 pounds. I brought a buddy today. It was the best day I've ever had in my life.
10, 11, 12.